Let's hit one of these. So I feel like that's enough time for everybody to come over from tutoring. So first order of business, let's talk about exam two, right? When do we want to do it? We can do it this Thursday or next Thursday, which I want to do, this or that, next. All right, so next, two for next, three for next. I'm sorry, say it one more time, I'm sorry. So three tests and then the final. That's it. Yeah.
This will be two.
Yeah. Every test is a midterm. Think of it like that. Yeah. But this is test two. You know, I dropped the lowest test grade. All right. So it's okay if you didn't do well on the first one. Just do well on the second and third, and you're good. All right. Um, Jardine, what do you say? For the exam? The ninth? All right. What about you, Warren? So this Thursday or next Thursday? Yeah. Everybody else said they want it next Thursday. All right. All right. So yeah. All right. So we'll do our exam next Thursday. Once again, what we're doing today will be on the exam. What we're doing tomorrow will be on the exam, and then the stuff on Wednesday and Thursday, that's not gonna be on the exam. All right. Next week, Thursday. Yeah.
Okay.
That's what everybody voted on. Yeah. All right. So that's that. Um, Once again, my schedule got switched around. I'm gonna be in person on Mondays, be online all day on Sundays now. If you guys want to join, no pressure. You guys can still do your test corrections if you want to, optional. All right. If you do it, I'll give you back half the points that you missed. All right. Hmm? Yeah. Yeah. So what you do, you go to tutoring, all right? And then you work with a tutor, and then you just have to do the questions that you got wrong, all right? And then you bring it back to me and I'll check it. And if it's 100%, I'll give you back half of the points that you missed back. Yeah. Yeah, and then they work with you on all the wrong questions, right? Get their signature, bring it back to me, and I'll give you back half the points you missed. So yeah. Other than that, any questions anybody has? And that's it for my announcements. Any homework questions that y'all have? Any topic not clear? No? All right, so today we have like a really simple topic. All right. You probably already could figure out how to do this, but just humor me and go through it. All right. Oh, by the way, I know I haven't posted in a while. Like on YouTube, like all of that is up to date right now. So y'all can log in and see everything. I didn't realize I haven't made an announcement in a minute, so sorry about that. But everything is there. All right, help me out. How I do this? Who remembers how to do this? Have a fraction divided by a fraction. No, not the same denominator. Okay, so you want to rewrite it. Okay, I'm down for that. Let's rewrite it. So this is going to be 3/5. And that line in the middle means divide. And then 9/10. What do I do after that? Right? So keep, change, flip, right? So I'm going to keep the first fraction, change the division to multiplication. I'm going to flip the second fraction. And what do I do after that? How do I multiply fractions? What do I do? Straight across, right? Let's go straight this way. So this becomes what? 3 times 10, very good, over 5 times 9, which you said was 30 over, I think, what, 45? Like that. And then now, let's reduce that. What number goes into 30 and 45? 5, that's good. 15, I like that one. Right? So the top is what? 2 times 15? And the bottom is what? 3 times 15, something like that. 15s will cancel out. So my final answer is what? Right? Or 2 or 3. Yeah. That's it. Does it? Questions on this? Anybody? I did like this was a long way though. I would have done it a shorter way. Mhm. What?
It's, um, yeah.
Mm, I think this would have been easier. Look at this. Wait, let me change the color so you know that this is different. Look at this. So let's say I had 3 over 5, right? Times a 10 over 9. I would have reduced the fractions, right? Diagonally or on top and bottom, right? Before going across. So 5 goes into 5 how many times? Once, right? Because five times 1 is 5. 5 goes into 10 how many times? 2, right? 3 goes into 3 how many times? 1. And 3 goes into 9 how many times? 3, right? So then now I just multiply straight across. This is 1 times 2 over 1 times 3, which is the 2 over 3. That's how I would have done it, you know? But yeah, got you. I mean, at the end of the day, though, as long as we all come out with the same answer, I'm happy. You know, if you want to do the long way, no problem. You want to do it my shortcut way, no problem. All right. Let's try another question. Something easier. This is very, very easy. It should take like 2 seconds. Here we go. Not bad, right? Tell me what to do. What do we think is the first move here? Yes, very good. All right. Solve the top first and then solve the bottom. All right. So help me out. What is 1 minus 1/3? How do I subtract fractions? Mhm. Yes, very good, right? So I'm going to make this 1 over 1. That's the magic of erasing, right? Right. So what's the same denominator here? 3, right? So how do I change a 1 into a 3? Multiply by what? Right, by 3. But you know what I do to the bottom, I do to the top. So this becomes what? 1 times 3 is 3 minus 1 over 3. And this is real hard. What's 3 minus 1? 3 minus 1, 2, 2. So now we got 2 over 3. That's my numerator. That's my numerator, 2 over 3. All right. Now let's do the bottom, right? So I got 4 squared plus 4 times 5. Yeesh. Y'all gonna have to help me out with this one. What's 4 squared? 16. Very good. Plus, what's 4 times 5 though? It's a little hard. 20. Very good. All right, here's the real hard part. What's 16 plus 20? 36. Now we're talking. Negative 20. All right, so we got our 36, right? Now remember, 36 a whole number, right? I want to make that into a fraction. I'm going to put this as 36 over 1. Mm-hmm. So now we back to the same question we had before, right? Mhm. So let's do this, right? We're going to rewrite it. This becomes 2 over 3 divided by 36 over 1. And we're going to, what are we going to do? Same thing here. Wait, before we do that, remember, keep, change, flip, right? Keep, change, flip. So it becomes 2 over 3 times 1 over 36. Now we could do what you were saying, right? Right. So whenever you're doing division, it's keep, change, flip for fractions. You keep the first fraction, change the division multiplication, flip the second fraction. All right. So now we could do the cross multiply. So 2 goes into 2 ones, 2 goes into 36. How many times? What is it? 18. Very good. So now all we have to do is just multiply straight across, right? So the top is 1 times 1 over 3 times 18, which becomes 1 over, I'm not even gonna lie to y'all, I don't know. What is it? What's 3 times 18? 54. Very good. And that's it. That's my answer. Questions on this? So we started up over here, right? We simplified our numerator, simplified our denominator separately, right? And then we had just a fraction divided by a fraction. Keep, change, flip. Boom. And then we just multiply straight across, and that's it. Anybody any questions from this? It's good. All right, all right. This next one's a little so-so, but we're gonna see. So I got 1 over 2x plus 1 over 4 is equal to 1 over 8. How do I do this? This is hard. There's a couple of ways we could do this, but I'm all ears. How would you guys do this if this was a test question? Is the answer 2? No. Good guess though. I like that. Kind of. So I see I have two fractions being added together is equal to another fraction. Make my life simpler, right? What I want to get rid of, not the x, the starts with a d, the denominator, right? I want to make this into a linear equation. So what should I look for? I should find the starts with a L. I should find the yeah, least common denominator, right? The LCD. So what would the LCD be here? Two, that's a part of it. We'll say it again. No, say it again. I didn't hear you. Eight, that's a part of it. Mhm. Yeah.
You talking about?
Right, from all three. 16 is a big number. We could use that. Hmm?
Where?
Yeah, so I'm asking for the LCD. That's a part of it. Eight what? My man, that's what I'm talking about. How'd you get that? Oh, damn. All right. So I need a denominator. I want them all to have the same denominator, right? So remember how we do this, right? We take the largest number, right? Huh? Right. So we got to add that in. But also remember how we do this with the denominators, right? We take the largest denominator and we try to see if all the other denominators could go into that. Eight is the largest, right? So all those other denominators goes into eight, except for the one with the x because of the x. So you just add the x onto it. So 8x, right? All right. So let's go through this now, right? We're gonna do this next style. So this is 1 over 2x plus 1 over 4 is equal to 1 over 8, right? All right, let me get my orange out. What do I have to multiply the 2x by to make it into an 8x? By 4. But you know what I do to the bottom? I gotta do to the top. What do I have to multiply the 4 by to make it into an 8x? All right, so I multiply this by 2x. What do I do to the bottom? I gotta do to the top. Now, what do I have to multiply the 8 by to make it into an 8x? By x, right? What I do to the bottom, I gotta do to the top, right? Now listen carefully. Because I have an equal sign, I don't need my denominator no more. Because I have an equal sign. So now this becomes what? 1 times 4 is equal to, oh shoot. Let me try it again. 1 times 4 plus 1 times 2x is equal to 1 times 8. Right? Because I have an equal sign, I can do that. If there was no equal sign there, it's an expression and I can't do that. Anyway, let's do the math. 1 times 4 is 4, plus 1 times 2x is 2x, is equal to 1 times 8 is, oh, shoot. Nobody even called me out on my mistake. There's supposed to be an x up here. All right? Nobody said nothing. 1 times x is just x. Boom. All right. So now, what do I do? So which one you want to do first? No wrong answers here. The 2x, you want to get rid of it? So how do I get rid of a positive 2x? All right, so I'm going to subtract 2x from here. But you know what I do to one side of the equation, I have to do to the other side of the equation, right? So I'm going to subtract 2x from over here. Right, so now I have what? 4 equals, what's 1 minus 2? Negative x. Very good. But I can't just leave it like that. I gotta get rid of that negative. So how do I get rid of the negative? Not add. Give me another word. divide, right? So I'm going to divide to get rid of this negative, divide by -1. But what I do to one side of the equation, I have to do to the other side of the equation, divide by -1. So here's my answer. X equals -4. And that's it. Technically speaking, I should plug it into the original equation to make sure it doesn't make the denominator 0, but y'all know how to do that already. Questions on this? We all know -4 times 2 is just -8, so we Gucci. All right. So let's jump into what we're getting into today. Today's gonna be so fun. But we're gonna before we can get to the fun stuff, we gotta build up to it. We gotta build up to it. But I promise you, you're gonna really like it. It's gonna be real dope. So here's what we're doing, right? So we're going to simplify, right, a complex rational expression by writing it as division, right? So complex fractions are fractions in which the numerator or the denominator contains a fraction. So we previously simplified complex fractions like this. Say we had 3/4 divided by 5/8, or x/2 divided by x times y/6. In this section, we will simplify complex rational expressions, which are rational expressions with rational expressions in the numerator or denominator. All right. So complex rational expression is a rational expression in which the numerator and or the denominator contains a rational expression. That's what we're getting into. So check this out, check this out, check this out. This is going to be so cool, right? So we want to simplify the complex rational expression by writing it as division. So we have 6 over x minus 4 divided by 3 over x squared minus 16, right? Let's try this out. So when they say writing it as division, I'm literally just rewriting the question that's there. Nothing special, right? So this becomes what? 6 over x minus 4, in parentheses, of course, divided by 3 over x squared minus 60. Same thing, right? The line in the middle just means division, right? Now take a wild guess. What am I going to do next? Go ahead. Not before that, before that. Keep, change, flip, right? Keep, change, flip. So I'm going to keep this as 6 over x minus 4. Change that division to multiplication. I'm going to use the dot multiplication in this example because I have x's in the equation, right? And then I want to flip in the expression, excuse me. And I'm going to flip this. So this is going to become x squared minus 16 over 3. Now, what's the next step? Go ahead, Warren. What's the next step? Factor, right? That's it.
What is that?
FAC, factor. Right, the difference of two perfect squares. That one, yep. So this becomes 6 over the x minus 4 times, right? Difference of two perfect squares over the 3. Tell me what to write in these parentheses here. This is x squared, so I know there's going to be an x here and an x here. What else? And what else? No, you're close. Minus and a plus. -4 and +4. Very good. Right? And then after that, all you have to do is just cross out the like terms. Let's do it. So I see x minus 4 here, x minus 4 here. 3 goes into 3 how many times? Once. And 3 goes into 6 how many times? 2, right? So now, what do I have as my answer? My final answer is just 2 times x plus 4. And that's it. That's the full answer. I'm done. questions on this? Easy, right? It's better than the numbers, right? No questions? All right. Do you guys want to try one or you feel confident we can move on? No? You want to try one? I got you. I got you. I'm gonna give you a hard one. All right, you could try. This one you got to know your timetables for it because the numbers are crazy. But it's okay though. I have faith in you. And you can use your calculator if anything. Try that out. Try that out. So rewrite it like as a line and then keep change flip and then all that good stuff. So I hear there's gonna be a heat wave coming. Mm, I wish. You know, we have a pool here. Yeah, over in the alumni gym. A massive pool, like Olympic size swimming pool. Yeah, that same building. So the first floor is the pool. Yeah, and they have locker rooms and there's a weight room. We have an indoor and an outdoor gym over here. We got handball courts, tennis courts, all that. Our track field was supposed to like double as baseball too, so it looks kind of weird. We got something. No football. Soccer team, like a little like club soccer thing. We used to have a track and field team, but they got rid of the track and field club more than. There's a volleyball and a basketball team here too. So just thinking I think it was last week was pantry, so should have pantry next week, something like that. You guys interested? I didn't get an email as yet about what they have in 415, the daily meals and stuff like that. So I assume they have the same thing from last week. I could be wrong though. I don't know. Unfortunately, right now, I mean, that's all we have to go off of because this cafe decided that they're not gonna open this week. Very nice.
I mean, they're closed by the time all the folks get in.
Yeah, they close by 2, I heard some nonsense like that. You know what I wish? I wish that the school made a hospitality management major and then between the professors and the students, like they ran the cafe. Mhm. They could even take it up a notch if they wanted and they could do like Grubhub Uber Eats and all that. That way they generate more money to keep going and stuff like that. But what do I know? All right. Tell me what to do here. This is a hard question. I want to first what? What? Rewrite. Hmm? Uh-huh. Perfect. And what's step two? Right? Keep change flip. Right? So I'm going to keep the first fraction as 2 over x squared minus 1. Change that division or multiplication. I'm going to flip the other one. And what do I do after that? Good. Factor. So this is what? 2 over x plus 1. Good. And x minus 1, right? Times x plus 1 over 3. What do I do after that? All right. Cross out like terms. Boom, boom. What am I left with? What's my answer? Good. And that's it. That's all I'm looking for. Questions on this, anybody? Not bad, right? This is probably the hardest question on your exam. Not gonna lie. All right. So just to recap, right? Fraction bars act as grouping symbols. So to follow the order of operations, we simplify the numerator and the denominator as much as possible before we can do the division, right? So let's take a look at this question that we got here. I have 1 over 3 plus 1 over 6 all over 1 over 2 minus 1 over 3. So what this is saying is we should simplify our numerator and denominator first before we do our division, right? So that being said, I'm just looking at the numerator, the top part. 1 over 3 plus 1 over 6. How do I do that? I have to find the... Go ahead. The LCD, right? So what would the LCD be for this? For the top. What would the LCD be? 6, right? So how do I change a 3 into a 6? By multiplying by what? Right. What I do to the bottom? What I do to the top. Right. And then technically speaking, 6 times 1, whatever, but you get the idea, right? So now what do I have? I have 2 over 6 plus 1 over 6. Right? Now this is a little bit hard. What's 2 plus 1? 3, right? So I got 3 over 6. I could reduce that, but I'm not going to because I want to do the bottom first, right? So now let's look at the bottom. So I have 1 over 2, right? Minus 1 over 3. What's the LCD there? Go ahead. 6. Very good, right? So how do I change a 2 into 6? By multiplying by what? By 3, right? But what I do to the bottom, I gotta do to the top. How do I change a 3 into a 6? By multiplying by what? By 2, right? But what I do to the bottom, I gotta do to the top. So now, what do I have? 1 times 3, I have 3 minus 1 times 2, 2 over 6, right? Which becomes what? 1 over 6, right? Now I could do my division, right? So let's rewrite this. This becomes what? 3 over 6 divided by 1 over 6. And then we're going to keep change flip, right? So this is going to become what? 3 over 6 times 6 over 1, right? And then you already know 6 goes into 6 once, 6 goes into 6 once. So this is just what? 3. 3 times 1 over 1 times 1 is just 3 over 1, which is just 3. Questions on this? Anybody? All right. So the lesson here was we simplify our top first, then we simplify the bottom, make it into a fraction over fraction, then keep change flip, blah, 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 and we're done. All right. We good? You guys feel confident, or do y'all want to try another one? One more? By the way, if you feel like you got it, you could knock out the homework in the meantime. Truth is, you might finish the homework before I finish the lesson. Only a couple of questions. Always. Yeah. After you simplify it though. Yeah. Good. Right. So I got you. So KCF, right? The C is changing to multiplication, and the F is the flip. All right, let's take a look. So I have 1/2 plus 2/3 all over 5/6 plus 1/12. So remember, let's do these individually, right? I'm looking at the top, right? What's the LCD there? Say it again. 6, right? So let me just rewrite this real quick. So how do I change a 2 into a 6 times 3? What I do to the bottom, do to the top. How do I change a 3 into a 6 times 2? What I do to the bottom, do to the top, right? So now I have 1 times 3, 3, plus 2 times 2, 4, all over 6, which is 7/6. Okay. Now on the bottom, I have 5/6 plus 1/12. What's the LCD there? 12, good. So how do I change a 6 into a 12? We're multiplying by what? By 2, right? But what I do to the bottom, I do to the top. And then 12 to stay the same, just times 1, blah, blah, blah. So now 5 times 2, I have 10. Plus 1 times 1 is 1 over 12. Let's call that 11 over 12. And then what do I do after that? Good. So 7 over 6 divided by 11 over 12. And what should I do after that? Keep change flip, right? So this is what? 7. 11, right? And then 6 goes into 6 once. 6 goes into 12 how many times? 2, right? And then we just go straight across multiplication. The top is going to be 7 times 2 over 1 times 11. Let's call this 14 over 11. That's it? Good, good. That's it. Hmm? Right, because 6 goes into 12. And 6 goes into 6, of course. But you see 7 and 11, those are prime numbers. So they're only divisible by 1 and themselves only. So there's nothing I could do there. Mhm. Just happens to be like that for this question. Yeah. Oh, my fault. If anybody wants to copy, this is it right here. Uh-huh. That's fine. You just reduce the fraction after that. So you're gonna reduce it by 6. Are you good to go? Yeah. Yeah, that's possible as well. No. You just have to do one more step to reduce the fraction. That was it. All right, I feel like we get the idea about this, right? So let's do another question. Just to make me feel good. Right? Same thing that we just did before, right? So I want to simplify the complex rational expression by writing as division. I have what? I have 1 over x plus 1 over y over x over y minus y over x. What should I do first? I have to find the what? Right? The LCD. So what is the LCD here? X what? You're right, XY, right? So how do I change the X into an XY? I have to multiply it by? Right, but what I do to the bottom, what I do to the top? How do I change the Y into an XY? I have to multiply it by what? By X, right? But what I do to the bottom, what I do to the top? Right? So now I have what? 1 times Y is Y plus 1 times X is X over XY. Let's do the bottom. All right, what's the LCD for the bottom? Very good. So now, how do I change a Y into an X? By multiplying by what? By X, right? But what I do to the bottom, I do to the top. How do I change the x into an xy? Times y, right? What I do to the bottom, do to the top. So now what do I have? Let's put this all together. X times x, I have x squared minus y times y squared over xy. Right? And then you already know this is going to be what? X plus y over xy divided by x squared minus y squared over xy. Right? Keep, change, flip. Same thing. Nothing's changing here. Keep, change, flip. So this is what? This is going to be x plus y over xy times xy over x squared minus y squared. Right? Next step, we want to factor this, right? Same kind of factoring we did before. So this is what? X plus y over xy times xy over, right? Now this is the difference of two perfect squares, right? So this is what? It's going to look like this. X plus y, x minus y. Cross out the like terms. X plus y, x plus y, x minus y. I mean, x times y, x times y. Final answer. 1 over x minus y. And that's it. Yeah. You're welcome. Questions on this, anybody? So it's 1 over x minus y. This is the rest of it. So questions on this one?
Made it better.
I hope it made it better. It's easier. You don't have to know any timetables, just x, y, and that's it. Cross out like terms. I don't know. I like the letters. You guys feel good or you want to try one? I mean, don't worry, I got more to do if you want to move on. So it's all good. And it is the same topic. Yeah, it's in the announcement. Yeah. For part two. Yeah. So here's our procedure, right? Simplify a complex rational expression by writing it as division. Step 1, simplify the numerator and denominator. This is how to do it. Step 2, rewrite the complex rational expression as a division problem. Step 3, divide the expressions, right? Here's one that you can try. I have n minus 4n over n plus 5 over 1 plus 5, I'm just 1 over n plus 5 plus 1 over n minus 5. Just go ahead, you can try that out. Not add it. I mean, in a way, maybe. Like the n is like over one, so I gotta get the same denominator. Over n plus five. No, n plus five. It stays the same. Let's try this out. Remember that the n is a whole number. So this is really just n over 1 minus the 4n over the n plus 5 all over 1 over n plus 5 minus 1 over n minus 5. Put a little equal sign here. Now I want to subtract these two fractions. What do I have to have the same of? Denominator, right? So what can I multiply 1 by to make into an n plus 5? Right, n plus 5. But you know what I do to the denominator, I got to do to the numerator. Then, of course, on the other side, you know, this is just times 1, whatever, right? This becomes what? N times n plus 5 minus 4n over the n plus 5. Let's keep it going. You're going to distribute this n. So you know you have what? N squared plus 5n minus 4n over n plus 5. Let's call this n squared. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Over n plus 5. Okay, there we go. But the denominator here, right? What's my LCD? Go ahead. Yeah. Perfect, perfect, perfect. So what do I have to multiply the n plus 5 by to make it into n minus 5 times n plus 5? By? Hmm? What do I have to multiply the n plus 5 by to make it into n plus 5 times n minus 5? Right? But now I got to be fair. What I do to the bottom, I got to do to the top. All right, last but not least, I have an n minus 5. What do I have to multiply by that by to get n plus 5 times n minus 5? This is n plus 5. What do I do to the bottom? I got to do to the top. This is what? 1 times n minus 5 is just n minus 5. Excuse me. Minus the n plus 5. All over n plus 5, n minus 5. Let's keep it going. I'm going to distribute the negative. So n minus n, that cancels out. Negative 5 minus 5, right? That's going to give you a negative 10. Right? So now we put that all together over here. And then it's the same thing as before, right? Keep, change, flip, all that good stuff, right? Rewrite it as division. So this is n squared minus n over n plus 5 divided by just like that. So now keep, change, flip. So this is going to be what? N squared minus n over n plus 5. Change the division to multiplication. Right? Flip the denominator. Like that. Cross out the like terms. Bum, bum. What am I left with? N squared minus n times n minus 5 over negative 10. I would accept this. I know you could keep going and try and simplify it and all that, but that's good enough for me. Go ahead.
You know, fact of steps.
Sure.
You know, you never got them.
Sure. How I got negative 10? I got you. So I'm looking at the numerator from right here, right? This is n minus 5 minus n plus 5. Distribute the negative, right? So this becomes n minus 5 minus n minus 5. Combine like terms, right? So n minus n that cancels out. Negative 5 plus negative 5 is negative 10. That's how. Any other questions? Anybody? N over here. That's it. So we good? All right, so you guys have enough information to do your homework. All right. I'm gonna show you guys another technique about how you can do this complex fraction work. All right. If you're comfortable with the way we've done it so far, continue to do it that way. All right. If you feel comfortable right now, continue doing it that way. You could just start your homework right now. Homework is only like 5 questions or 4 questions, so y'all can finish it before you leave today. All right. But I'm gonna show you guys another method right now. If you want to adopt this new method, no problem, right? But if you prefer the other method, that's fine too. All right. So we're gonna start off a little simple and build up just like how we did this question here. So this method is simplifying a complex rational expression by using the LCD. All right. So we cleared the fraction by multiplying by the LCD when we solved equations with fractions. We will use that strategy here to simplify complex rational expressions. We will multiply the numerator and denominator by the LCD of all the rational expressions, right? So check this out. Let me show y'all. Again, if you're comfortable with the other way, just do your homework. Don't even listen to me, right? But if you want to see another way, I got you. So look, I have 1 over 3 plus 1 over 6 over, 1 over 2 minus 1 over 3. All right. Now, we know what the LCD for the numerator is, right? LCD for numerator is 6. All right. So in this case, what am I going to do? I'm going to multiply this by 6. Right? Literally, I'm just going to distribute it like that. So when I do this, this becomes what? This is going to be like 6 over 1 times 1 over 3 plus 1 over 6 times 6 over 1. Right? Do the math on that. 3 goes into 3 once, 3 goes into 6 2 times. 6 1 6 1. So this works out to be what? Just 2 plus 1. Right? I'm doing the multiplication. I assume everybody knows what 2 times 1 is or 1 times 1 is, right? On the bottom, we have our LCD, which is also 6, right? So what am I going to do? I'm just going to distribute it, right? So this is going to become what? 6 over 1 times 1 over 2 minus 1 over 3 times 6 over 1, right? 2 goes into 2 ones, 2 goes into 6 3 times, 3 goes into 3 once, 3 goes into 6 2 times, right? This becomes what? 3 minus 1. See, I can't do math. 3 minus 2. Right, there we go, right? 3 times 1 is 3, 1 times 2 is 2, blah, blah, blah. Right? Simplifying this out. 1 plus 2 is 3. 3 minus 2 is 1. Final answer is 3. That's it. Questions on this, anybody? Yeah. Yeah. The idea here, right, is I'm taking the LCD and I'm multiplying it by everything to get rid of the denominator. Then I just add, subtract as necessary. Hmm. Me personally, I like the first method more, but to each his own. You'll still get full credit for using either method. Your choice. Go ahead.
LCD. Each from,
No,
in
no, I'll show you. I'll show you. We're building up to that. No, no, you're good, you're good, you're good. And by the way, this is being recorded, so I understand I'm showing you guys two methods. So if you want to review this later, no problem. All right. Let's try this question. It's the same thing. All right. We start off. I got 1 over x plus 1 over y over x over y minus y over x, right? Now, LCD for this, we know is just x times y or xy. Let me just say xy just to make our life easy, right? What am I going to do with that? Just multiply it. Boom, boom. And that's it. So when I multiply x times y over 1 over x, this becomes what? Xy over 1 times 1 over x plus multiply this over, right? It's going to be what? 1 over y times xy over 1. Cross out the like terms, right? Cross out the like terms. What does this become? This becomes, right? Y, because y times 1 is y, plus, what's this? X, because x times 1 is x, right? Over. Gonna do the same thing on the bottom. So LCD at the bottom, we know is x times y or xy. I'm going to distribute that. Bear with me 1 second. Okay. So this is going to be xy over 1 times x over y minus y over x times xy over 1. Cross out the like terms, bop, bop. Cross out the like terms, bop, bop. So what does this equal? This equals x squared minus y squared, right? Now, you know, right after this, I got a factor. So this becomes what? X plus y over x plus y times x minus y, difference of two perfect squares. Cross out the like terms. Final answer, 1 over x minus y. That's it. Questions on this? All right. So same thing. I found the LCD for the top, distribute, pop, pop. Find the LCD for the bottom, distribute, pop, pop. And then I just simplified as usual. X times x, x squared, y times y, y squared, bring the minus sign, factor, cross out the like terms, that's it. All right. Before I get to the more complicated questions real quick, let me just give y'all some notes. Just bear with me 1 second. Here you go. So this is how to simplify a complex rational expression by using the LCD. Step 1, find the LCD of all the fractions in the complex rational expression. Step 2, multiply the numerator and denominator by the LCD. Step 3, simplify the expression. That's it. All right. All right. So here's a more complicated question. So in this question, check this out. I got 2 over x plus 6 over 4 over x minus 6 minus 4 over x squared minus 36, right? Okay. Now you see with the top, right? LCD there is just the x plus 6. Nothing that I can really do there, right? But with the bottom, right, I could get rid of that, right? Wait, hold on. Let me think about this. Hold on. Thinking. Hold on. All right, going back to what was said before, right? If I consider all of the denominators here, right? So this denominator, this denominator, this denominator, all three. What would you say the LCD is? Close. The LCD would be, go ahead.
Say, we can consider numbers.
Oh, right. All three of them. Close. Close. So it'd be x minus 6 and x plus 6. Okay, to be fair, I should have rewrote this and I should have factored the other one. So I'll give you that. That's my mistake. I should have done that. So let's do that. 2 over x plus 6 over 4 over x minus 6 minus 4 over x plus 6, x minus 6. Okay, I'll give you that. I messed up on that. I should have wrote that. All right. Anyway, going back to the lesson. Why is this thing freezing on me? Give me 1 second. All right. I want to multiply. Damn it. Hold on. Sorry about that. Now I'm good. I want to multiply the LCD by the top and the bottom, right? So my top is going to be x minus 6, x plus 6. Whoosh. And the bottom is going to be what? X minus 6, x plus 6. 1 second. And then boom, and then boom, right? All right, so for the top, when I multiply this out on the top, right, the x plus 6 and the x plus 6 will cancel out, leaving back just 2 times x minus 6. On the bottom, when I multiply this times the 4 over the x minus 6, right, the x minus 6 will cancel out on the bottom and the top, leaving back just 4 times x plus 6. And then just minus 4 for the top because they're both going to cancel out on the right hand side, right? After that, distribute, combine like terms, blah, blah, blah. That's the answer, right? So this will become 2x minus 12 over 4x plus 6 and 6 is 12, 24 minus 4. Let's call that 2x minus 12 over 4x plus 20. Technically, that wasn't smart because now I have the greatest common factor this back out to make it 2 times x minus 6. Factor 4 out to make it x plus 5. 2 goes into 2 ones, 2 goes into 4 2 times. So final answer would be x minus 6 over 2 times x plus 5. So that's how you would work it out for that. right? You would find the LCD for all three and then just multiply that out and simplify it. Questions on this? Anybody? Again, your choice. You got two methods that you can use for this. All right. Y'all know which one is my favorite. I just want to say this in case you're watching the recording. This is actually over one. This is over one, right? When you're multiplying it out, right? So that's how it gets to cancel out and stuff like that. Hmm? I see time is going, so let me just run through these last couple of questions just to show y'all this method again. The questions are getting a little bit more tougher, but it's the same formula, same idea, right? So here's this question here, right? I have 4 over m squared minus 7m plus 12 over 3 over m minus 3 minus 2 over m minus 4, right? So here's the idea, right? I want to factor the numerator first. And I'm factoring the numerator so that I could tell what the LCD will be, right? So if I factor the numerator, this is going to be what? M minus 3 times m minus 4. Again, if you don't know how I did that, right? Just use the AC method and it'll give you that same factorization right there, right? This is over 3 over m minus 3 minus 2 over m minus 4. Okay. Okay. So LCD for this, right, is going to be, put it over here, m minus 3 times m minus 4. Of course, that's over 1, right? Going to distribute that. Same thing on the bottom. M minus 3 times m minus 4. Ran out of space. Now I'm going to distribute that. Boom, boom, right? So when I'm doing that out, on the top, you already know it's going to cancel out, right? Bop, 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 bop. So this is just what? 4 over 1, but I'm just going to say 4, right? Just make our life easy. It's just 4. On the bottom now, right? For the first distribution, the m minus 3 and m minus 2 will cross out, leaving back just 3 times m minus 4, minus sign in the middle, right? And then for the next one, the m minus 4 will cancel out, leaving back 2 times the m minus 3. After that, distribute, combine like terms, boom, boom, and we're done, right? So let's do that. So this is going to be like this, and then this one like that. So this is just 4 over 3m minus 12 minus 2m plus 6. And then we want to combine like terms. So this should be like 4 over m minus 6, right? And then that's it. All right, questions on this? Anybody? So what I did here first, I factored completely so that I can figure out what the LCD is. And then I took the LCD and I multiplied it times the top times the bottom, right? Made it linear, and I just simplified straight across. right? You guys have two methods. Use whichever method you feel more comfortable with. All right, no pressure to use it, either one. On your test, I won't ask you use this method. All right, you can use whatever you feel comfortable. All right. Go ahead.
Answer is what, yes.
I got you. It's this. Yeah, so distribute and then combine like terms. So it's 4 over m minus 6. It's a little jumbled up. That's an m right there.
This is that equals.
No, I'm just doing that. Yeah. Yeah,
Don't think it will be much.
got you. Yeah,
Yes, that's, you're not supposed to.
I got you. No, no worries. You're good. You're all good. All right, let me just run through this last one and then we can call it at that. But you guys could stick around and do your homework if you want. No pressure. I'll be here. All right. So let me run through this one real quick. All right. So I have, hold on one second. I have y over y plus 1 over 1 plus 1 over y minus 1, right? What would you say my LCD is here? Remember, I'm considering, right? I'm considering both denominators here. Go ahead. Perfect. That's the LCD, right? So our LCD here, just multiply all the denominators together, basically, right? It's y plus 1, y minus 1. So that's what I'm going to multiply this by, right? So I'm going to do it on the right-hand side for space. So this is going to become y plus 1 times y minus 1 all over 1, distributing that, right? Same thing on the bottom, right? Y plus 1, y minus 1 over 1, distributing that twice. Boom, and then boom, right? All right, let's simplify this out real quick. Now, you know, for the top, the y plus 1 and the y plus 1 will cancel out. So the top, I just have y times y minus 1. Over for the bottom, when I multiply this over, this is going to be straight up y plus 1 times y minus 1. Or with the other one, it's just going to be plus the y plus 1 because these will cancel out, right? Questions on it? Are we good? After that, you already know, distribute, combine like terms, blah, blah, blah. I feel like I learned my lesson from the last question, so I'm not going to distribute the numerator here. I'm just going to leave it alone until the end, right? So y times y minus 1 over, let's distribute this one, right? Boom, 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 boom. This one's two perfect squares. I have y squared minus 1 plus y plus 1, right? Ones will cancel. So what do I have? I have y times y minus 1 over y squared plus y. Let's factor that out. So this is going to be y times y minus 1 over y times y plus 1. Greatest common factor, of course. Cross out the y's. Final answer. Y minus 1 over y plus 1. And that's it. Questions, anybody? Just from the beginning. Any questions? Just the rest of it. All right. So Start your homework. If you finished your homework already, just come sign out and you can go. So do me a favor, it's at 6:29. Could you write the date up for me? No problem. Sure. 6/20/26. Appreciate you. Can I take this down? Can I take this down? With my copying still? Appreciate y'all. Thank you. You know, it takes a little while for me to download it, so